Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Time is running very fast for President William Samoei Ruto, and by every tickling second, 2027 is beckoning, and it is worrying William Samoei Ruto because he is becoming very unpopular by the day. And it seems William Ruto is not leaving any stones unturned. He's using every means to ensure that he can get a few people to convince that he's still the right person to re-elect come 2027. And one of the things that Statehouse, Deep State, NIS, and Ruto's friends are using is propaganda. Last week, most of us were shocked to hear that Kalonzo Musyoka was making a U-turn only a day after he attended the launch of Martha Karua's People's Liberation Party. A day after that meeting, William Ruto complained that the entire leaders were talking about him, and we knew that he was scared stiff. So the following day, we were told that people like Enoch Wambua, Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Wavinya Wandeti, the very closest allies of Kalonzo Musyoka, had said, we were told that these leaders had said that they were reading mischief, suspicion, and betrayal from Rigathi Gachagua. And as such, the headlines were saying that they had decided that it was high time to support William Samoei Ruto. This really shocked the nation because Kenyans are really yearning for change. The election that we are headed at in 2027 can only be likened to the election that happened in 2002, because that was not just an election, but it was a revolution. So when Kenyans heard that Kalonzo's closest allies were saying that they were reading mischief from the large opposition and Rigathi Gachagua, and therefore they wanted to support William Ruto, it was like imeenda. But now it is turning out that this was mere propaganda. And yesterday, in a church, they said Kalonzo allies took that moment to clear the air, and they told off William Samoei Ruto and his propaganda machines that the newfound love between the Kambas and the Kikuyus, the larger Gema, is not about to end, and that the opposition is united. There is only one common enemy, and that is this failed government. And they warned William Ruto that no amount of propaganda, no amount of attempt to scuttle the opposition will work this time round, because once bitten, twice shy. Their eyes are focused and they have their eyes on the ball. Kindly listen to the allies of Kalonzo Musyoka dismissing all this propaganda and putting the record straight.
That the line of divide between the Kikuyus and the Kampas, hiyo mstari tumefuta kabisa, it will never be there again. We don't belong to the lower eastern region. We are members of the Mount Kenya South region. That's who we are. Mr. President, kwa sababu dhangu amesema unasikiliza, take note. Take note. Kwa sababu juzi, and I said I will use this opportunity, Mheshimiwa Ambu, if you allow me, to put a record straight. Juzi kuna vitu wametembeza huku kwa mitandao. Uongo, you know, in the words of Catholic bishops, this is a government founded on lies. Yani uongo. Juzi wametengeneza vitu yao ya mtandao, wanasema ati Senator Enoch Wambua, kwa sababu anajulikana yeye ni mfuasi kabisa wa chama cha Wiper na Kalonzo Musyoka, ati amesema ati Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua to betray, and for that reason we are now going to work with one William Ruto. Now I want to make it very clear. I am standing here and the People's Deputy President is seated here. Tuko hapa kwa kanisa, kwa madhabahu. Na mimi Mimi si kama wewe. Mimi, I can never lie. Not in church. I can never lie. I will say it as it is. Mr. President, kama wewe unangoja Kalonzo Musyoka mkae chini na yeye kwa hii serikali yako ya viraka viraka, forget it. It will never happen. Wewe ulisema you will never allow nusu mkate government. Saa hii my friend, hata sio nusu mkate, ni slices.
Kuna watu wanaongea maneno mingi wakisema wanaangalia wale viongozi wa Ukambani wale wamemshika Kalonzo mkono kama mheshimiwa, kama gavana Mutula Kilonzo, Maanzo, Enoch, Wavinya, wanaanza kusema ati sisi hatuamini wa Kikuyu. Sisi tumeshaingia kwa ngema. Tumeshaingia kwa ngema na sisi we are part of the southern, inaitwa Ngema South. We are part of Ngema South. Na hakuna kugawanya Mkamba na Mkikuyu tena.
Cousins. You are our cousins. Sijui shetani aliingia wapi katikati yetu, lakini tunasema God's timing is it. Sisi tumerudiana vile Senator Kitui amesema. We are back home. We are the same people. Sisi ni Adhoniwa. We talk the same language. Na hii safari tutatembea pamoja. And God in his own miraculous ways ametuleta pamoja. Sisi pale tulikuwa na William Ruto, ametufukuza. Nyinyi mlikuwa pale na Raila, ameondokea nyinyi. Naye Mungu amepanga sisi tufanye nini? And let me assure you what you're Ukambani. This Gema, this one, Gikuyu, Embu, Meru, Anakamba. Hii ndio dawa ya Kenya. And I want to assure you, the Akamba people, this time round, tukiwa na nyinyi, tutaunda serikali pamoja.
As we delve so much in this discussion, allow me to request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell. This allows YouTube to notify you whenever we release a video like this. Don't forget to like and share our videos. Thank you very much to those who support us in one way or the other, those who share our videos, those who give their comments. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the government side is bragging that they are sure of a landslide margin. They are sure of a 2027 victory in the first round because they have Raila by their side. And they're saying that with Raila, there is nothing to worry about. Yet, they still want to use a lot of propaganda against Kalonzo Musyoka. Why they worry if they know very well that they are going to win in 2027? Why can't they just relax, work for the people, wait for 2027, then win against the opposition as they're saying? What exactly is happening? Why do you think William Ruto and his propaganda machine is trying so much to malign Kalonzo's name, for lack of a better term, or trying to propagate some malicious stories about him? Number one, and this has really failed, by the way. So I want us to look at what has failed, what is at stake, and what they really wanted. What has failed is the mere attempt to separate the whole country and charge the whole country against the Murima. It has been Ruto's intention to ensure that the whole country gangs up against Mount Kenya. He's been praying for that. We've heard some of his allies saying that it will be the whole country against Kikuyu. And that is why they were saying that, now Kalonzo wants to leave because they feel they smell betrayal. How do you smell betrayal, by the way? These people have not even started working together. They're just trying to have their first meetings to see how they can unite together, how they can work together. They have not even formed any government. They have not even formed a strong opposition. They are still trying to ensure that they have people on their side so that they decide how to move forward. Then you say they are smiling, they are smelling, betrayal. So this was an attempt to ensure that Mount Kenya remained as an island as the whole country unites together. And this has fallen on the ground because Kalonzo's allies made it very clear that those statements never came from them. They are not intending to abandon the opposition. They are there to stay, and their found new love will continue. Number two, these people wanted to drive suspicion, to start painting Kalonzo Musyoka as a watermelon. You see, the moment you have started saying that Kalonzo and his allies want to unite with William Ruto, then the opposition, the principals, Natembeya, Martha Karua, Matiani, Eugene Omalo, will start looking at each other like, is it true? If Kalonzo wants to go, then who else could be speaking with William Ruto at night? The moment there is suspicion, then that unity will never work. And you only need to plant some suspicion seed there, the seeds of suspicion. And once you do that, then they will start internal wrangles. They will be asking themselves, where is this coming from? Could there be a possibility that Kalonzo Musyoka is meeting William Ruto at night? Of course, this is not the first time. There was a time it was reported to us that Kalonzo could be seeing William Samoei Ruto, and they were even saying that there is a seat that he wants to be given, that one of Moses Wetangula or the other one of Amason Kingi. So they wanted to plant that seed, and had they succeeded in doing that, I can assure you, then many other people would have started saying that, there is no need talking because now we don't trust each other. The moment you don't trust each other, then William Ruto is sure of victory. And as I've told you, this was an attempt, a failed attempt to try and portray Kalonzo Musyoka as a watermelon. Kalonzo had that tag until he stood firm after the 2022 elections, when Raila's people were being taken, people like Jalango were going to Statehouse and they were taking pictures. There is no any member of parliament from Mukambani that ever went to William Samoei Ruto. They remained steadfast. And I think even if you have to ask people between Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Amolo Odinga, who now earns the tag of watermelon, I can assure you Kalonzo is no longer watermelon because he has proved that he remained steadfast. So they still wanted people to say, oh, we know Kalonzo. Kalonzo can never, remain firm. He's busy looking at William Ruto at night. And what will be the implication? The implication would be, you see, when you look at that group, in terms of experience, Kalonzo Musyoka stands tall. And therefore, most likely, he's the one who's going to be the flag bearer of that team. So they want to target him early enough so that people will start looking at him as someone who cannot oust William Ruto. See, this opposition must be strong because William Ruto is not a pushover. He's the sitting president. So what happens? They need someone who is very strong to give William Ruto a run for his money, knowing very well that it is Kalonzo Musyoka who stands tall among them. They wanted to paint a very bad picture of Kalonzo Musyoka, but it has really, really failed. It was also an attempt to divide and rule. You see, if there is something that William Ruto has wanted, is to using the divide and rule tactics. If these people are divided, because the moment you've mentioned that Kalonzo wants to go, then these people will not be united, and therefore the opposition will be. It was an attempt to scuttle the opposition. Once you disintegrate the opposition, then that is a very sure win, a very sure victory for William Samoei Ruto. Let me tell you, and you can take this to the bank. William Ruto will not rest until that camp is divided. This is my personal opinion. I highly suspect that Uhuru Kenyatta is working for William Ruto. Why? And I could be wrong. This is my hypothesis. For 2 years now, the government wanted to take the Jubilee Party from Uhuru Kenyatta. They had even assigned people like Kanini Kega to take over the party. Then after William Ruto had ousted the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and he waited until Rigathi Gachagua was now galvanizing the support base of Mount Kenya and trying to be, and in fact, Gachagua became the center of attraction. He was the focal point for all the opposition. And they had stated very clearly that they will support and endorse Kalonzo Musyoka. Immediately that happened, the courts ruled that Uhuru Kenyatta and his people like Jeremiah Kioni, were the real officials of the Jubilee Party. Then, immediately after that, Uhuru Kenyatta says through the party that they are now supporting Fred Okengo Matiang'i. I don't have anything against Fred Matiang'i. Fred Okengo Matiang'i is a very strong leader, very strict. He really excelled as an education CS and even in the security sector. Many people feel that he can be the president of this country. But his coming when Mount Kenya seemed to have rallied behind Kalonzo Musyoka, Fred Okengo Matiang'i was mentioned. And there's nothing wrong. They will be in one basket. They will ask Kenyans, because it is Kenyans who will be voting. So they will be asking, among these people, who do you think should carry the mantle? And Kenyans will tell them. But I'm really suspecting that Uhuru Kenyatta is not working for the people. Otherwise, why would he endorse someone when they already have Kalonzo Musyoka? I don't know. That is something that you can all look at. But time will tell. But William Ruto will not rest until he divides that group. He will ensure that he will have about two other presidential candidates from Mount Kenya, because he wants to ensure that he divides the votes from Mount Kenya so that they don't get the full loaf. So this was a matter of divide and rule. But the good thing is that they have dismissed this propaganda, they have dismantled it, and I know they will never repeat this. They will look for something else. But for this one, it has failed and they have been really humiliated. The opposition has decided that they are going to remain very strong. And even if there is someone who is going to waver among those leaders, Kenyans are united and they're saying, we have a failed government. Civil servants are saying, we have a date with this government come 2027. Youths are saying, we have a date with Kasongo come 2027. And we're waiting to see how things are going to transpire. But this kind of propaganda, the Ruto propaganda machine, has failed once again because Kenyans know better.